Hey everybody, it is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Welcome to your reading. Today's reading is called Eagle Vision Animal Totem Messages. And for those of you that are wanting to align with the energy of the Eagle Animal Totem, welcome to your reading. I am going to do a brief introduction to the Animal Totem in general. So do stick around and listen to that. If you don't feel like listening to it though, you can go to the description box below and just choose your pile right away. We have pile number 1 represented by the corn, pile number 2 represented by the red pepper, and pile number 3 represented by the eggplant. So you are able to go do that. Now, before I start talking about the Eagle Animal Totem, I just want to mention that in the next coming weeks, we do have an eclipse, a full moon lunar eclipse coming up at 5 degrees Libra on March 25th. And then we have a solar eclipse on April 8th. These are 2 really big eclipses, and we are like in the eclipse zone right now and for the next month or so. So I just want to encourage everybody to take care of themselves, take care of your body, take care of your health. Listen to your body, listen to your health, listen to where you're at with where you need to be. Try not to overcommit to anything right now, and particularly a message for Libra risings or Aries rising. These eclipses are happening, or if you have, for instance, anybody who has Aries or Libra rising, just let me tell you guys, you're having these eclipses in your 1st house and in your 7th house. And this is, a lot. So if you're feeling tired, exhausted, if you're feeling anxious, nervous, if your energy is off, just know like you're not alone. These are some pretty big moments that we're leading up to coming in the next month or so. And for some of us, there may be some big decisions that are being made about our lives and different things. So I just want everybody to, take it easy on yourself. Don't be upset if you can't do as much as you normally do. You're not lazy. There's not anything wrong with you. You're going through the cosmic salt and pepper shaker of eclipse time. So let's go ahead and get into it. So and I will be having more videos on the eclipses as well. I just wanted to keep it on people's radar if you're already starting to feel it. And I know I am. I've been having pressure at my forehead, or like pressure on my forehead. And, it's probably like a pinched nerve, or it's probably a headache or something that I've been having. They don't usually come at the front of my head like that. So it's been a different sensation for me. And, I've just had to take it easy. I don't know how you guys are doing. But anybody who is having, for example, issues like with stress, overeating, not eating enough, headaches, feeling lazy, feeling tired, like just know you're not alone, and this is something that is going on right now. And so it is in the air. Anyway, with that said, let's go ahead and talk about the Eagle Animal Totem. So with the Eagle Animal Totem, we want to look at the Eagle Animal Totem as a way to stretch our limits, to be ambitious, to show strength, leadership, and vision in what we're doing. Eagles tend to carry that energy of nobility and dominion, and when they're flying through the sky, they give that energy of like, I belong here, okay? And I'm proud of where I'm at, and I'm owning where I'm at, and feeling very proud of oneself and taking ownership of one's journey, okay? Eagles are known for being very wise. Eagles are said to have eyes on the side of their heads that are 8 times sharper than the human eye. So eagles have a wide field of view when they're scanning. Eagles can hunt vast areas without a lot of effort. And even though they are associated, with the air and flying, they are also deeply connected to the ground and the foundation of things. Their long talons allow them to grasp and hunt. with a certain level of strategic efficiency. They have a strong beak, so they know when to speak out and when to be silent about things. Eagles show a sense of energy conservation, so they don't have to be doing something all the time. When they really need to throw their energy behind something and do something, they have the energy in the moment to do that, because they're not just wasting energy. Eagles are associated with the east winds and associated with spring and dawn, which in the northern hemisphere we are moving into springtime here. And eagle energy may come into your life if you're having new difficulties in a new beginning and you're needing stamina and resilience and endurance to handle those difficulties in a new beginning. If you're spending too much energy to get a job done and you're having energy leaks, this is where eagle energy is very important, where we need to pull back and see the big picture. Sometimes in life, it's easy to lose sight of the larger perspective, especially when we're going through tough transitions in life. Eagle energy is also important when you've had like recent insights about your life and you're like, how do I integrate these insights into my life? Also too, for those of you, wanting to take responsibility for the direction that you're heading in life and really grab onto that responsibility and run with it, eagle energy is great. Also, if you're willing to stand up and be the adult for yourself in a situation where you are like, you know what, I'm protecting and guiding myself and I'm willing to stand up and be the adult here, then that is also very positive as it relates to eagle energy. Somebody in the room has to be the adult and has to be willing to protect and guide situations. First and foremost, we have to do that for ourselves, but eagle energy can also do that for others if necessary. Eagle energy shows a quiet confidence that isn't loud or validation seeking. Eagle energy also shows a noble person who makes wise decisions and shows a proud and honorable person who doesn't get pulled down to the level of others. And so I think if you're wanting to really, because eagle energy, it always reminds me of the Emperor in the tarot. It also reminds me of Aries and springtime, and that sense of owning and taking responsibility over one's journey in life and being able to be the leader, showing strength, nobility, stamina, all of that is part of that. So let's go ahead and get into your reading, everybody. Let us take a look, and you can go directly to the description box below to click on your reading. And without any further ado, we are going to go ahead. I've been wanting to make this reading for a while, so I'm happy to do it. Let us begin. All right. Pile number 1. Thank you for coming to your reading. You chose the corn, and today's reading is called Eagle Vision, Animal Totem Messages. I gave a bunch of associations for eagle animal totems in the beginning, pile number 1. So we are going to go ahead and get into it. Of course, eagle vision is really associated with seeing the big picture and being able to pull back, and eagle energy is also about self-control, I think, because if you have a wide view of things, then you can make better decisions, wiser decisions, and be less impulsive in the moment and actually weigh things out. So let's go ahead and see for pile number 1, which we all need during eclipse season. What is Eagle Animal Totem message for pile number 1, please? What is the Eagle Animal Totem message for pile number 1? What does the eagle have for pile number 1 today? All right. Ooh, the devil on the bottom of the deck. Okay, tough times, my friends, okay? And it's tough when we get our hopes up about something and then they're crushed, or we're brought back down to reality, and it's a reality that you know, that it feels very like limiting and constricting. So we're going to talk about this pile number 1, okay? We've got control. Ooh, eagle energy, control. That's so funny. I just mentioned self-control. And we have the lovers. Okay. Interesting. Well, I was getting an energy about love looking at this devil card because of the pink on the ground there that they were standing on. You know, when love is empty, or love is over, or people are trying to control the other person, and there's an energy of like facing off against each other and trying to be controlling, control the dialogue, control the messaging, all of that. Let's see what we have here. Control other people's ideas. We have, I assess matters carefully and discern wisely, okay? I assess matters carefully and discern wisely. And of course, eagle energy does have to do with assessing matters wisely and making good choices. We have confused. Okay, the chaos accompanying the confusion seems misguided. However, the others are too embroiled in the situation to see it clearly. You will need to make it simpler, okay? And you may need to take control of a conversation, pile number 1, okay? And eagle energy is all about, like we said, stamina, leadership, vision, nobility. And I talked about in my earlier written message about how someone has to be the adult in the situation. You know, the devil can be where people are like denying responsibility or not wanting to take responsibility for something. But eagle energy really steps out front and says, okay, like the chaos accompanying this situation seems misguided. And maybe you guys are thinking, why are they confused about this? Or why is this person confused? Or why have I been confused about this? However, eagle vision is where we need to rely on our own discernment, and because we can't really rely on other people right now, pile number 1, because they're not really seeing things clearly, and they may not be seeing things in a long-term perspective either, which eagle energy definitely focuses on seeing a long-term, like long vision perspective. And you know, especially if someone's really been trying to control the narrative or put you down, pile number 1, eagle spirit wanting to talk about, you can't really rely on other people's perceptions right now. You will need to make the situation simpler and rise above it. And if there has been arguments or there has been things going on, it's almost like you need to withdraw yourself from that and see everything from a 360-degree view and get back some of your own control in the situation over your thoughts and how you feel and think. We have illumination. Something hidden is coming to light now. You find out about new opportunities and options. Someone lends you a helping hand, okay? Well, that's good. Someone lends you a helping hand. And here's the thing, pile number 1. I feel like you guys are really getting a gut check on somebody right now, because you're seeing how certain people in your life, like people you wouldn't even expect, are willing to give you a helping hand, but this person isn't. You know what I mean? And sometimes through comparing and contrasting, which is really like what the Lovers card is about, is that comparing and contrasting, is we figure out something, we're illuminated about something. It's like, oh my God, like this person, somebody does something for you that makes you realize how very little another person had been or has been doing for you. And I'm trying to think of a really good example of that. You know, I was thinking of an old friend of mine who, from years ago, who her like significant other, the person that she was seeing at the time, didn't reach out to her on her birthday, didn't reach out for the holidays. Like they were off and on at various times. Didn't reach out for birthday, didn't reach out for holiday, kind of left her feeling alone. But then she had other people showing up for her, and the contrast of other people showing up for her and being there for her, but that person just being MIA, like they usually would just go MIA around important occasions or important timings, made her like realize, like, you know, I actually need more from this person than this. And the contrast that it drew was like so crazy, because it was like she was really saw in that moment, like, you know, it was really illuminated for her. And those are eagle moments when we have like huge illuminations about something in our life, like that just becomes very stark and clear. And it's actually very simple. You know, it's because people can really overcomplicate things, but every once in a while, like we get such a complete distinction on something. It's like, we know. Okay, and this energy is coming for you guys. We have innovation. You will need to come up with new strategies to keep your plans in motion. Yeah, the lovers and the eagle energy, like planning, plotting, strategy. You'll need to come up with new strategies to keep your plans in motion. Old ways are outdated. So in the past, if, you know, you tried to control situations, or if your idea was basically, I will control everything, I will do everything myself, I cannot rely on anyone else, I don't have help from anyone else. And maybe that was true, you know, pile number one, or just having like really stubborn thinking about things, or doing things the same way because maybe you wanted control or another person wanted control in a situation. You know, eagle energy just saying here, the old ways are outdated. The devil card, okay? The old ways are outdated. Invent, create, and test ideas. I love that. Invent, create, and test ideas. And that innovative, illuminating energy is very like eagle vision. And eagles always strike me as very smart too. So we have to know, like when we're running into a brick wall over and over again, it's like, maybe I should try something different. Maybe I should test a new idea here. And talking to these other people, it's just making me confused, or I'm just being brought down into their confusion. And actually, I need to take some space for myself and really come up with a new strategy here for how I'm approaching this. Okay, we have acceptance. I am learning to accept the things I cannot change. Yeah, and maybe one thing you can't change is another person's mind. You know, they can't see things from your perspective, and you're confused as to why that is. And maybe in the past you spent a lot of time trying to convince someone of your perspective or how you saw the situation. But at the end of the day, we can't be responsible for other people's perspectives. They have to come to their own conclusions. And when we try to force our perspective on someone else, we're getting into the area, and I don't mean to be dramatic, pile number one, but we're kind of getting into mind control. We're getting into very controlling behaviors, and we have this controlling card here. So sometimes we have to open up and accept what other people are saying. And actually, sometimes when we open up and we actually hear what the other person is saying, or we accept the way that they think, like, it's like, I'm not going to change their mind, I'm not going to change their opinion, and I think we just need to leave it right here. That acceptance is what allows for new ideas, innovations, new things to come about, okay? Because if we just stay locked in the conflict, then we're not ever going to have that eagle vision. We're not going to be able to rise up and out of a situation and really see it for what it is. So in this situation, acceptance brings innovation, new strategy, changes. And it's like accepting, you know what, we're not going to agree about this. This is not something that we are going to see eye to eye on, and that's fine. I'm not going to keep, I'm not going to keep trying. We want to think about the noble eagle is kind of like above that. Okay, pile number one, we have, ooh, the Grand Cross and the Provoker, okay? And somebody is acting deliberately confused about what you're telling them, you know, is what I feel, pile number one. And they're engaging in a power struggle with you here, control, about the communication, okay? The Lover's card, comparing, contrasting, related to Gemini energy. There is somebody in a partnership that is trying to control things by acting confused or acting like it's just provoking the situation, okay? And the chaos accompanying the confusion seems misguided, okay? Like, why are you confused? Or why aren't you understanding me, okay? And somebody could be pulling power trips on you too with the communication. Like, why aren't you understanding me? Why aren't you seeing things? The thing is that with Grand Cross and Provoker here, this situation is allowing you, it's provoking you, and it is irritating, and it is, you know, it is irritating, pile number one. Don't get me wrong here, but it's helping you to have something illuminated right now. And when you try to bring up something to someone, they come back acting all confused, and they may be using confusion as a way to control something. And it's like, okay, we can't, you say I did this, I say you did that. At the end of the day, it's just the confusion is inducing provoking situations where if you try to go toe to toe or get in battle, it's just gonna be like, you know, square peg, round hole, or running your head into a wall. Like, they're not getting it. Do you know what I'm saying, pile number one? We have the Knight of Pentacles. You've been very patient. Two of Swords, they don't want to hear it. No matter how much evidence you present them, no matter how much, no matter how much you show up with your integrity, your dignity. Knight of Pentacles is very much eagle energy, and it is about consistently putting in the work and the effort. But it can also be where work and effort isn't appreciated or isn't heard. And every time you try to present something to this person, pile number one, or you try to rationalize, or you try to be really straightforward, or you try to simplify things, it's like they don't want to hear it, or they don't want to look at it, or they don't really want to be self-aware. You know, some people are like purposely like doing like lack of self-awareness in order to sabotage things, okay? And no matter how much you show up with the, hey, like, you know, I did this, or be patient, or be calm, and be kind, and be caring, which are all wonderful things to be at the end of the day, patient, calm, kind, caring, but they're not getting it. You know, that's the thing. They're not getting the point. We have the Four of Wands. You're better to move on with your day. And, you know, you're better to just, and the eagle energy really asks us, where are we putting our energy, right? Because this is not, you know, the Knight of Pentacles dumping this energy into the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords can be where somebody is acting really confused about something, but it's like, you know, the Seven of Cups is more confusion, right? And it's like the more time I spend with this person, or the more time I spend thinking about this, the more confused and lost and weird I get about it, because we had a good time together. Okay, Four of Wands, we had a good time together. It's like, I thought we had a good time together, or I thought we had something good going here, but I'm confused, okay? And sometimes we tell ourselves we're confused and we're lacking in direction about a situation, but it's actually really simple. Knight of Pentacles, like putting energy into something and the other person doesn't want to hear it. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to take responsibility. They're not in the mood. They're just not, you know, no matter what you say or what you do, they're just not really, they're on the fence. You know, the Two of Swords, they're on the fence. And, you know, sometimes we do need to pause with this Two of Swords here and really assess something and really look at it. And I actually feel like you guys could be saying, you know, I was confused about something, or I was really unsure, or I just got this weird feeling, Natalie, that I was unsure, or that, and I wasn't sure why I felt unsure, because we had a really good time together, or we really were enjoying ourselves together. So why do I still feel so unsure about this whole thing? Okay. And assessing matters carefully and discerning matters wisely is definitely something the Two of Swords needs to focus on. And whether we resist that or whether we actually, you know, I feel like your guys' time would be better spent elsewhere, doing fun activities outside, outdoors, spending time with friends, going on walks, going on hikes, you know, taking a day off to do something nice, the Four of Wands. And, you know, but I feel like you guys are like, but what does it all mean? You know, we did do that stuff together, but what does it all mean? Okay. And, the thing is that if you've expressed yourself clearly to somebody and they're just not, you know, responding, pile number one, then I would take that as a, well, that person just self-eliminated themselves in the game of life then, right? Because if you've been honestly putting your best foot forward, trying your best, and they're just not listening and they don't want to hear it, then it doesn't matter how much, you know, the thing about the Four of Wands, I love the Four of Wands, but the thing we always have to ask with it, is it sustainable? Is it a good time in the moment, that we're enjoying the moment and living in the present moment, which is really, it is nice to live in the present moment. It is nice to live in the present moment. And maybe you guys are like, you know, I do need to live in the present moment more often, but when I live in the present moment, I get confused. Seven of Cups, then I'm not sure what I want because I'm just living in the present moment. And one thing to think about, you know, with the Knight of Pentacles and the Two of Swords is the effort I'm putting into this situation, or the effort that I'm putting into this person, this situation, is it received with its intent? And is the other person able to speak on that and reciprocate on that? Okay, the Lover's card. And if they don't have a good answer for you for why they don't want something or they can't do something, then I would just accept their blobbity blobbity blah answer and say, okay, back to the drawing board, okay? Because it's an illumination. If somebody's coming to you with a lot of confusion and they don't know, then they're just saying that's where they're at right now. And, you know, it's not up to us to be decipherers of everyone else's realities. They have to do that work themselves, you know? So pile number one, that is what I am getting for you, my friends. I hope that that reading resonated for you, and I hope it brought a sense of empowerment is what I hope, pile number one. So that is what I am getting for you, my loves. I would love to hear your thoughts, your comments, and your feedback. Thank you so much and take care. Let's move on to pile number two. All right. Pile number two, welcome to your reading. You chose the red pepper, and today's reading is called Eagle Vision, Animal Totem Messages, my friends. Let's go ahead. And I talked about in the beginning about, you know, the eagle is being very noble and wise, and eagle energy being great. As far as like stepping up and owning a situation, and, you know, eagle energy very much associated with dominion and feeling proud and confident with where you're at and where you're going. So let's go ahead for pile number 2 and see what message does the Eagle Animal Totem have for pile number 2 now, please. What message does the Eagle Animal Totem have for pile number 2 right now? Almost there, pile number 2. Eagle has that patience quality too, that eagles always seem so effortless, you know, when you see them fly, and they seem like they're very patiently like waiting for their prey. And oh my gosh, the devil on the bottom of the deck. That's so funny. Pile number 2, because pile number 1 had the devil on the bottom of the deck too. And perhaps because the devil in the tarot is where we see everything very, very small. And to me, the devil is the opposite of the eagle energy, because eagle energy has eyes. Eagles have eyes on the side of their heads, and their eyes are 8 times sharper than that of a human, where the devil tarot card is pretty much saying, what you see is all that there is. There's nothing else. All there is this particular thing. And it's very like limiting. The devil is represented by Capricorn, that Saturnian energy of limiting something and making something smaller and contracting, versus the eagle, which is grounded and connected to reality and connected to Saturn, but also is very Martian. I feel like, you know, eagles are very Martian in the sense that they fight back against like having only one viewpoint on something. Okay. And it's interesting with this devil card here because it says obsession. And so perhaps there is something that you've really been thinking about and you can't get it out of your head. And you're wondering, like, is it an unhealthy obsession for me right now? Okay. And maybe some of you are feeling very stuck right now too. And you're like, I feel stuck and I'm obsessed with this particular thing. Like, I'm obsessed with this outcome, okay, with a certain outcome for yourself, or I'm obsessed with a particular person, or I'm dealing with an unhealthy obsession, okay? So maybe some of you are dealing with that. Sometimes too, we can have an obsession with like revenge, or we can have an obsession with wanting to see someone else get their karma, like, and it can kind of pull us down, you know, pile number 2, it can kind of pull us down. And eagle energy is about like not going to the level of our enemies. It's about rising up and, you know, I'll use the old Michelle Obama, when they go low, we go high type of thing. To me, that's very, you know, devil versus eagle. And so let's go ahead and see what we have here. We have going with the flow. Ooh, you know, and I was thinking about how eagles do that when they fly, and patience and going with the flow and eliminating distractions, going with the flow. We have the 6 of Pentacles and compromise. Okay, I'm going with the flow, but I don't like it. Maybe that's where you guys are at right now. You're like, Natalie, I am going with the flow, but I don't really like it. I'm kind of annoyed with it, but I guess that's fine. Okay, I hear you, pile number 2. I hear you. I shine my light outwards for all to see. And you guys got the moon goddess, Diana. Wonderful, beautiful. And of course, the moon is the definition of going with the flow. And I shine my light outwards for all to see. And I feel some of you, pile number 2, you're like an example right now. So you shining when other people in the world are like, you know, curmudgeons, they're not very generous, they're not very, they're very greedy in the way that they act towards others. Like, what can I get out of this situation? Or what will I get, right? And very much the opposite of the energy that, you know, being obsessed with material things, being obsessed with validation, right? With the devil. That could be an obsession with, you know, I need validation, or I need approval, or I need, somebody to tell me that I did well, right? And particularly for people who grew up around parents who did not give their children proper validation and didn't give them proper recognition for the people they were becoming. Later in life, those children may seek that validation in other people or in other situations. And particularly for people that grew up around parents that were very stingy with that. And that can leave a hole in ourselves where it's like we're obsessed with getting approval from other people, or we're obsessed with being recognized in some particular area, right? And part of your guys' strength, though, pile number 2, is going with the flow and shining your light outwards for all to see. And the moon goddess Diana, she definitely hunted at night with her hounds. And people were very afraid of goddess Diana, because if you interrupted her or got in her way while she was hunting, or hurt her animals or her children in any way, you're done, okay? And also, the moon goddess Diana, very fierce, feminine, warrior energy, okay? And sometimes we can read that as somebody who's laid back or going with the flow, but underneath it, there's a fierceness. Pile number 2. And, I feel like some of you may be angry here because you have been easygoing in life and you have been going with the flow, but it's when is this shit gonna land? And, I'm sick of always going with the flow, okay? And maybe you're saying, yeah, I do shine my light outwards for everyone to see, but people should also remember that I have a very fierce side to myself as well. Okay, pile number 2, and I am getting that for you. We have perplexed, okay? Still unsure of what happened. Shake your head, roll your eyes, and respect that others choose to travel different journeys than you. Remember that each journey is important, okay? And sometimes that's all we can do in life. We can be genuinely confused or perplexed by other people. What the F, and we can be unsure of what happened. Going with the flow, 6 of Pentacles, compromise. I thought they were happy. I thought they were fine. I thought that this person was happy, fine, okay, everything going fine. Or maybe you even thought you were happy or fine or going with the flow in your life. And then all of a sudden you realized, actually, I'm kind of pissed off. Actually, I am sick of compromising myself, okay? And that may have led up to a moment where somebody went off, or somebody you could have gone off, pile number 2, another person could have gone off, but could have resulted in passive aggressive behavior, people going off, still very nice, or still very, but that's what happens sometimes when you're sitting on resentment, or you're sitting on unacknowledged feelings. Somebody will get passive aggressive or say something snippy, and maybe you've also felt this in yourself too. And you're like, God, I did go off on that person, or I did, roll my eyes at somebody, and they did act, I feel like you guys were in a situation with another person where you're like, God, they had some weird vibes to me that day. Why did they have such weird vibes to me? Okay. And first of all, I get it. If it's someone who's really close to you that you care about, I get caring about somebody's vibes towards you. But if it's not somebody who's really, really close to you and a really important part of your life, I also have to say to that person, pile number 2, fuck them, because you don't know, and I think sometimes in life we want everyone to like us, or we're validation seeking and we want everybody to, think that we're a good person or whatever, but whatever. Unless it's somebody that you really, really care about their opinion and they're very, very close to you, then I wouldn't waste a lot of energy. It's it says here, if you're still unsure of what happened, shake your head, roll your eyes, and respect that other people choose to travel a different journey than you, okay? And we have gestures. Wow. You may be asked to help someone out, or you may need a hand. Give deserved praise to others, and you will receive recognition too. Wow, pile number 2. That is so interesting. And of course, I had no idea that card was coming, but here it is. And gestures of goodwill, gestures of, and maybe like in your family, it was a backhanded compliment, or somebody would give you a compliment and then turn it around and make it about them. Like, there's just so many times, and perhaps you guys went with the flow with that, and you're like, whatever. And you just kind of went with the flow. And I think you guys are doing a good job of embodying eagle energy, because if people are acting that way, then like, are they somebody that you're going to be around all the time? No. Are they somebody that you're going to have constantly a part of your life? No. Because we don't need quiet haters in our life. Like, we really don't need like people quietly disapproving of us and hating us or whatever. Like, nobody has time for that. Okay. But that's interesting. We have, you may be asked to help someone out, or you may need a hand. Okay. And sometimes we have to remember, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay if somebody needs our help. And you guys may have people that are validation seeking towards you. Like, they need your validation, or they need, something like that from you, because the main thing at the end of it with the devil is people's insecurities get in the way of honestly relating to one another. And I think you guys have learned that in life already. And to an extent, I feel you already embody the eagle energy, because you do go with the flow and you're like, it's not about me. It's not about their stinginess or their grumpiness or whatever. It's not really about me. And anyway, so we have here passage. Ooh, and that's coming out under this go with the flow. And it's interesting because we are in Pisces season right now. There's a lot of watery energy. Astrologically, there's a lot of water. And you guys have chill baby, chill baby, wait. Pile number 2, chill, easy passage. And that's what I want for you guys, is not to get caught up or confused. Just easy passage through whatever, Keep it simple right now is a good thing. Your current situation is a means to an end. Okay. So whatever situation you're in now, it's not a forever thing. You're going through a transition. And I talked about that in the beginning messages when I talked about eagle spirits, and how eagle spirit can help us guide us through difficult passages where something is just an end to a means to an end. A job, a relationship. Now, again, we want to be careful we're not using people, but sometimes, a job is a means to an end. And that's what it is. It's transactional, the devil. We know it's not going to make us happy in the end. It's just for now, it's okay, but it's not the long-term plan, okay? Your current situation is a means to an end. You're making the uncertain voyage to a new world. Enjoy the discoveries as you go, okay? Ooh, I like that. Enjoy. And it's a lot of self-discovery for you. And if you guys feel bad, well, I'm not a user, Natalie. I don't want to use anybody. There's an equal exchange. If you're at a job and it's it's just a means to an end, but you're doing your work and they're paying you a paycheck, then that is what it is. It's transactional, and there may be situations in your life where things have felt very transactional, and, and you guys have just been yeah, whatever. I'm not going to get too bent out of shape about other people's lack of validation or lack of generosity in that. I'm just gonna it's even growing up in your parents' home, pile number 2. It could have been like that, where it's you know what, I live with these people for right now, but and it sucks, but I'm not gonna live with them forever, and I will be out of here. And so I kind of like that vibe for Eagle energy pile number 2. I like that energy you guys got going on with that, because it's a long vision of things. It's like, yeah, it's not where I want to be right now. It's not, how I envision everything in my life, but whatever, I'll deal with it for now. And I actually, here we have indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of my life. And, and sometimes we can get a little too laid back as well. And we start like, and then we start getting into indecision territory. So we just have to stay balanced, right? We want to stay alert. And that's the thing with Eagle energy, is we don't want to pass up on an opportunity that we could potentially have because we're just being very like lackadaisical, or we're just like, whatever, easy come, easy go, or it's not a permanent thing, right? And that's good for calming down our nervous system, for just being like, yeah, it's chill, whatever. But we don't want to lose like our alertness, and our ability to make a decision, particularly if you're being presented with 2 options, pile number 1, and they both feel like a bad decision, or there's compromise in both of them, or you're having to significantly compromise what you want in order to go into something. In order to make a decision or in order to move forward, you're having to engage in a level of compromise that you're not comfortable with, okay? And that's where Eagle energy does need to come in, I feel, for you guys to stay alert, right? And to be really aware of where you're at, where you're flying, where you're headed, and to be very alert. I like that you go with the flow and you're not wasting a lot of energy, because that's another thing with the Eagle energy. Like, we don't want to waste a lot of energy trying to over control things or things like that. I don't really think you guys are doing that. I think it's more of a staying alert and not compromising yourself and where you're headed, okay? We have the 5th house and creativity. Ooh, pile number 2. I shine my light out for all to see. Maybe some of you have a lot of planets in your 5th house and you're very creative. Maybe you act, write, dance, sing, poetry. Pile number 2, you're like poetry in motion, my friends. Go with the flow. And, the go with the flow people are usually the more like creative people. And I like it, right? I like the creativity popping up here, because there is something, and maybe you did present a piece of creative art or work that you did, and you did shine your light outwards for all to see. And the Eagle animal totem is like, good job, pile number 2, like clapping its talons for you. Okay, but you're like, was it good? Or, like you shared art or you shared something you did, but you maybe shared it with a friend, or you were looking for feedback, or you were like, here you go with the hand gesture here, like, here is something for me to share with you. And that the people that you shared it with were like, yeah, or they didn't really get back to you, or you didn't really hear from them. And now you're kind of unsure. And it's like, what happened here? Okay. And, maybe your art scares some people, pile number 2. Okay. The devil. Maybe it brings up insecurities within them. Maybe there's something about it that, it's too, like cutting edge for them. It's too cutting edge for them, and they're more traditional, 6 of Pentacles, okay? That could be it. But at the end of the day, the advice here is, if you're like, well, I did share my creative efforts and my creative things, okay? But they didn't like it, or they didn't say anything. It says, shake your head, roll your eyes, and respect that others choose to travel different journeys than you. Remember that each journey is important, okay? And maybe you guys were like, well, I was just trying to entertain somebody or make them laugh or be funny about something, and it seems like they didn't really get the joke or they took offense to it. That can definitely be like devil energy with insecurity. And maybe some of you are very funny or comedians, or you're very like, when you have a side of you that can be very funny, upbeat, creative, making people laugh, you know, with the fifth house being the light of the being the life of the party, that type of thing. But it doesn't always land, you know, it doesn't always land with everyone. And sometimes when people aren't approving, it can bring out a lot of shame, you know, with the devil, or it can bring out a lot of self-recrimination. And so, you know, what I'm getting from this, from the eagle energy pile number 2, is to not let this bother you and to keep sharing your light for all to see. It says for all to see on here. It doesn't say for just the people that I think will perceive it in a good way, or just for the people, you know what I mean? It says shine your light outwards for all to see. Now, when you're shining your light outwards for everyone to see, you're putting things on social media, you're putting art on social media, you're doing, you know, TikTok videos, you're doing YouTube or whatever. You are putting it out there for everyone to see. And, you know, some people may have a really weird reaction to things that you do. I know people have on my channel too. Like, some people have left really weird comments or accused me of really weird stuff. And, you know, I mean, what am I gonna, like, you know, at the end of the day, not everyone's gonna love you and be your best friend. And that's been a hard lesson for me too, pile number 2. But caring less about stuff like that, it does keep you sharper, and it does keep you more aware and alert. Because if you're trying to make something appeal to everyone, then you're still going to share it with everyone, but it may not land with everyone, and that's fine, you know. We've got the 4 of Wands in celebration. Yeah, I was clapping for you guys. Ooh, the sun, positivity, of course. And the eagle is very much associated with the sun in the way of being strong, being a leader, having vision, being ambitious, stretching your limits, being proud, being noble, being dignified. This is all very eagle, you know, and I feel like the eagle animal totem is celebrating you guys and saying, we love your positivity. We celebrate you. We celebrate what you've created. The sun is the creator of all life on this planet, and the sun does have to do with creative energy, 5th house, creative, okay? And, you know, being celebrated because, and, you know, sometimes celebrations are just like with ourselves and another person. It isn't always like everyone around us, right? But sometimes it's more of a private celebration, or it's more like a, damn, I can't believe I actually finished that. Like, I actually put in all that work, and I feel really positive about it, and I feel very happy about the work that I did, and I feel very proud of myself for finishing that. And the sun is really the opposite of the devil. The sun is like no shame, okay? Being able to be completely naked, being able to be completely oneself and not carrying the veil of shame. And I know that that's really hard in life, especially when we're taught that, you know, we should be ashamed. And even there's all this shame around being naked or nakedness or this type of thing. But the sun encourages us to be like a baby, to be like we're freshly born, like a little, you know, like we're not born with any clothes in this world, you know. Pile number 2, maybe some of you like being naked, or you're into being naked and you want to be celebrated for that, but you know, not everybody celebrates that. And it's like, well, you know, that's on them. A lot of people that, pile number 2, a lot of people that begrudge you or don't like what you're doing, they're actually low-key obsessed with you, with this devil energy here. They're low-key obsessed with you because they wish they could be more like you. They wish they could like go with the flow more. They wish they could be more positive. They wish they could have the courage to put their work out there like you do, but they don't, you know? So a lot of people who don't have the courage to put something out and they don't have the courage to stand at the front of something and represent it, don't be throwing stones at the people at the front presenting something and doing something just because they don't have the guts to do it themselves, you know, pile number 2. So give yourselves a pat on the back, pile number 2, be proud of yourself, okay? We have 6 of Wands, achievement, absolutely. Ooh, I love it. We have the Star card here too. And you're different, you're unusual, you're unique. You have ideas that other people don't normally get. You try stuff that other people don't normally try. You put things together that a lot of other people wouldn't think of, pile number 2. And you're truly, the eagle animal totem is coming through here and saying, we are truly impressed with what you do. Like, even if you're the only one that sees it, even if you and a couple other people are the only one that sees it or whatever, they're saying amazing, great idea, like unique, outstanding, hands up in the sky, right? For pile number 2, like raise the roof, get those hands up in the sky for pile number 2. I just kept getting that, that's DJ, like when DJs are like, put your hands up in the air, put your hands up in the air, okay? For pile number 2. Now, I feel like you guys are gonna have like your moment in the sun. You're gonna have your special moment where you're like, damn, you know, I really, and the 6 of Wands is about achieving success, rewards, being recognized for something. And the thing is I do feel the recognition is going to be there for you guys. You have 2 really strong signs, the Sun and the 6 of Wands, as like, and the 4 of Wands too. And the thing is that you are different and you are unique and you don't do things the same way as other people. And thank God you don't, because if you did, you wouldn't be getting the positivity and the achievement that you do. And, you know, I think Eagle Spirit is saying, you know, taking a lot of inspiration from the successes that you've already had in your life, from the things that you're already proud of, and creating with that mindset and not being afraid of putting yourself out there, okay, the Sun card, and also not being afraid of unique, original ideas and correlations that you guys have, because all of that, like being willing to put yourself out there and having wild, original ideas that no one else is having the balls to do or the guts to do, pile number 2, is what really makes you special and what really makes you shine, okay? So if, you know, if there's certain people who are not getting it and they're not seeing it, whatever, their insecurities, blah, 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 just keep doing what you're doing and let the ideas, you know, come. Stay inspired. And Eagle message to you guys is stay positive, stay inspired, okay? Yes, go with the flow, but don't let it, you know, reduce your alertness, because some of you could have some really new ideas, some really amazing ideas coming through your mind. And it's like, oh yeah, I need to do that. I need to go there, okay? And other people, pile number 2, are gonna be like, whoa, what's pile number 2 doing? I wish I would have thought of that, okay? So pile number 2, that is what I am getting for you, my loves. And very positive message for you guys, and definitely a message of shunning your haters as well. So thank you so much, pile number 2, and take care. Let's move on to pile number 3. Let's move on to pile number 3. Pile number 3, you chose the eggplant. Welcome to your readings, my friends. And today's reading is called Eagle Vision, Animal Totem Messages. Okay, and the eagle spirit is really coming out and really came out pretty hard in pile number 1 and pile number 2. So hard and good is what I would say, pile number 3, okay? Eagle energy is very good when we are in the middle of a new beginning and we need stamina, resilience, and endurance in order to get the job done, okay? And eagle energy embodies that spirit of nobility, okay? And says, I belong here. And there is a proud and wise spirit in the eagle energy. So pile number 3, let's go ahead and get into your reading and see what does the eagle spirit want to share with my pile number 3s, please. What does eagle spirit want to share with pile number 3? Pile number 3. Okay. Hope you guys are having fun out there and doing well. Oh, yep, having fun. The 4 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Me needy more fun. You needy more fun too, pile number 3. Let's see what else we have here. Let's see what we've got. Ooh, we've got consciousness, deeper levels of consciousness becoming available to pile number 3. I like that. Ooh, letting go. Letting go. All right. And conscious of the need to let go. You guys are going through an emotional purging right now that's like so for real. Okay, pile number 3, it is for real, for real. And you are conscious of your need for emotional healing, for letting go. You're embracing changes along the way. And you are very, at this point, the eagle animal totem has already made you aware and made you conscious of what you need to let go of. And, you know, I'm drawn to the image of the 2 women here, like enjoying themselves, having a good time, living it up. Okay, on this 4 of Wands, like, you know, living in the moment, all of that. And even if you've had some moments like that, pile number 3, where you have enjoyed yourself or you have lived it up in the moment or just gone with the flow, let your fire like really shine there. There is even underneath that a deeper energy. It's like if you're at, this happened to a friend of mine. We were together and we were at like a music festival together and we were having so much fun. Pile number 3, like we went to see Odessa. And oh my God, like if you guys know Odessa, their light show was insane and the crowd and the people around. And I mean, we were just like, whoa, like having a really, really good time. And we're like, this music is like so for real. And we're just like jumping up and down, pile number 3, which is very 4 of Wands, like, you know, in the moment, enjoying, having a good time, dancing. But then in the middle of their show, I'm telling you guys a parable, pile number 3, like the Buddha would. No, I'm just kidding. Pile number 3, I'm not the Buddha. But anyway, we were, you know, like up near the front, dancing, jamming, having a good time. All of a sudden the music switched and it was this very, like, it was this hologram that looked exactly like my friend. And the woman looked exactly like her and the guy in the other hologram looked a lot like her husband. And, you know, they've been struggling in their marriage for a while, but it was this song like, I just want to be equal, or I just want things to be equal with us. And why I'm telling you this story, pile number 3, is because my friend looked up and saw this holograph in the middle of us dancing, a picture of herself and the person she's with. And in that moment, it exactly captured on a deeper level everything she was going through and where she was at and what she was feeling. And, you know, yes, we were having a good time. Yes, we were enjoying ourselves. But on a deeper level, I could just see the energy like start to come over her and come on her face. Like the energy of like the expression on her face is what I mean, of like whoa, you know. And all of a sudden it's like she got this deeper insight about her relationship, and it wasn't like we stopped dancing or smiling or laughing, but inside she felt this deeper insight, this deeper emotional insight about, you know, her future with him, and the fact that, you know, she may need to let go of this someday. Okay. And the reason why I bring this up, pile number 3, is because eagle vision animal totem message is really, the eagle does talk about getting an insanely deep insight about something in your life in a weird random moment where you're doing something else, but all of a sudden the truth of an insight comes in and grabs you. Now, that could be something that has happened to you guys recently as well, pile number 3, where you were just gardening or doing the dishes or, you know, whatever you were doing, taking a shower, and all of a sudden you got hit with this deeper emotion or this deeper consciousness about something in your life that, you know, it's like it's time to let go, or it's time to move on, or it's time to forgive myself for this particular thing. You became aware, okay, consciousness and letting go on a much deeper level of something that is a part of your life. Now, the hard part of that, pile number 3, is how to integrate that into your like waking life. Like, what do I do with this information and what did it all mean? So we're going to look at that, okay? It says, my words and actions are of beauty, compassion, and love. Oh, pile number 3. You know, what's so crazy about you guys is, yes, you like to have fun. Yes, you like to enjoy yourself, but there is a much deeper spiritual being within you, okay? And I feel like pile number 3, like you guys are really coming through as like my old souls, people who've incarnated like many times. You may be young, or you may feel young, or you may have a side of you that's very childlike and fun with the 4 of Wands, okay? And people may not always guess that there is this much deeper side to you, much more emotional and deeper side to you. And this is the eagle energy coming through to you guys, okay? We have paralyzed. Not being able to move forward can overwhelm and create a sense of fear. But standing still can be just as frightening. At least moving forward can create change, okay? And, you know, if you've been, and I think it's so important for you guys right now to speak to yourself with words of compassion and love. And, you know, if you've been avoiding, look at the, you know, if you, I kept thinking the 8 of Swords was there, but it's not even there. It's not even under this 4 of Wands. It's the 4 of Swords, okay? And, you know, I think you actually know what you need to do. I kept thinking the 8 of Swords was there, but it's not. You're not like, you know, maybe we'll see it later in the reading, but I think you're at the point now where the deeper realization has already come. It's already like, you know, it's already there, and you've been sitting with it for a while with this consciousness here, with what to do with it. And you felt like, what do I do with this information? I feel paralyzed. Like, I know that integrating this information will be very scary because it's going to bring a huge change and shift in me psychologically, emotionally, everything. And, but I don't want to stay stuck. I want to be able to let go. I want to be able to move forward. Okay, we have answers here. All right. You will resolve your current situation soon. You find unique ways to stand out. You find a new opening, okay? And this is talking about a work situation, but this could easily be love as well, because I see the card on here that says love. and there's a key. All right, so you will resolve your current situation soon. Work-wise, you find unique ways to stand out. You find a new opening with job security, okay? And maybe some of you are also in an odd situation with your relationships. It's like, I know I need to let go. I know I need to move on. And I feel very deep emotional surrender within me, but I'm also afraid, you know? And it says, you will find unique ways to stand out. You will find a new opening and you will get answers, okay? We have here direction. Ooh, conscious and letting go, direction. Your purpose is unfolding slowly, step by step as you go along. Oh, there's so much trust needed in that pile number 3, okay? When your purpose and your direction in life is unfolding step by step by step, oh my God, it can feel like, it's like you really have to trust, right? Because if it's just a step by step type of a thing, it's like, oh my God, like, I mean, maybe it's good that it's step by step because otherwise it could get very overwhelming and stressful. But at the same time, it's like, God, could it be unfolding any slower here? Your purpose, I get it, you know. And paralyzed, feeling stuck in a long time, for a long time in a particular situation, should I let go? And, you know, some of you may be thinking about moving as well, because I see the map and the compass, and this card is direction. And maybe some of you are like, yeah, I do know I need to leave where I'm at. I've come to the realization I'm not happy here. You know, I'm also getting something, pile number 3, about liking certain things about your life with the 4 of Wands, but maybe it's more superficial or on the outside, but on a deeper level, you're not happy, okay? And that could be a relationship, a job, just where you live. Your purpose is unfolding slowly, step by step, as you go along. There is no need to hurry or worry. You are being divinely guided, okay? And this can be incredibly painful because pile number 3, it's like, okay, like you're being shown things about your life that are making you understand like it's time to let go of something and it's time to move in a new direction. But the steps are not, it's not like you have steps 1 through 10 laid out for you. So it's very hard to trust, you know, in those moments. And I get why. And maybe it's this feeling of, I need to move somewhere. I need to go somewhere. I need to leave. And if I don't go, I'm never gonna, you know, if I don't leave, if I don't go, if I don't do something different, then that's it. Everything is gonna be lost, okay? So it's just, and that can be very stressful, pile number 3. It's just saying there's no need to hurry or worry. You are being divinely guided, okay? With the eagle animal totem, I feel, pile number 3, you are being divinely guided, but you are in that intense space of emotional realizations, and you do need time to integrate that, I feel. We have balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment, okay? And, you know, once you're like really balanced, that's when the direction becomes clear. Let me look at this. I love the blue and the green. It does remind me of, and the blue and the green here, it does remind me of the heart chakra and the throat chakra. And I do think there is a need for balance right now. In those areas, there may need to be a healing of grief, a healing of loss in the heart chakra. And your ability to put that into words, or your ability to get that out and talk about that, will bring a state of balance within you, pile number 3, okay? And we have here Yad and Destiny. Oh my gosh, pile number 3. Wow. And this period of being like paralyzed with this sense of, I don't know where I'm headed, I'm having to trust, I'm getting all these realizations. This is all a part of your destiny, okay? And having this moment and these realizations is going to lead to something really big for you guys. I feel pile number 3, okay? And if you're having stresses and worries, eagle, and that's where eagle vision can come into play, because it's like if we're feeling very overwhelmed, or we're going through a really tough transition, okay, eagle energy, it also talks about their beaks and how the beak of an eagle is very strong, and how eagle animal totem teaches us, when to speak and when to be silent, okay? And maybe there's been a need for a lot of silence, pile number 3, with this consciousness and letting go. And there is a need for meditation. There is a need for silence. There is a need for peace and quiet. It's so funny today because I was went to yoga this morning, and I was there, and there was this girl who was had a really loud voice, and she was being really loud, and she opened the door while I was in the yoga room, and I smiled at her, but I was also tone it down, in my mind. I was like, your voice is really loud. You're opening this door, poor thing. I didn't want to, I wasn't trying to, whatever. But at the same time, I walked out of that room thinking, God, I need peace and quiet. Oh my God, do I ever need peace and quiet? And maybe that is kind of where you guys are at too, with this consciousness and letting go. It's like, I need some peace and quiet. I need some balance restored in my life. And once I have that, I'll be able to make some better decisions, okay? And eagles are oftentimes flying by themselves. You can just hear their wings in the wind. There's no other sounds. And that's when they really understand the direction and understand where they need to go. Okay. And even with hunting, eagles are very efficient in the sense they can cover a big, vast distance quickly, but they also don't waste a lot of energy. And yeah, so pile number 3, I gave you guys a lot of stories in this reading. Hopefully I didn't annoy you too much with all my stories. I mean, we've got the Buddha here, so we might as well break out the, quote unquote life stories. How that always happens, Sometimes I have to admit, pile number 3, when there's those stories and they're a fable trying to give a lesson, I'll zone out or whatever. I'm not a very good Buddhist. I mean, I'm not a Buddhist anyway, but I'm kind of a bad Buddhist. But pile number 3, c'est la vie, my friends. Okay, we've got the Ace of Cups and the heart chakra. Okay, the healing, the emotional, the laughter, the joy, the healing. That's all there that wants to come through for you guys. The balance in the heart chakra. We have the King of Pentacles and we have the 10 of Swords. Okay. Yeah, you guys are, and the King of Pentacles really does have that wise, easygoing, but also wise kind of eagle energy about it. Okay. Especially when it comes to investment of time and energy in particular things, learning, growth. The King of Pentacles has already accomplished a lot, so there's not a lot of needs to prove things or, whatever. But I also feel like you guys are saying goodbye to something that you have been very comfortable with or has provided you with a sense of safety and security. And the thought of letting go of that, or the thought of betraying that, or the thought of walking away from that may be an incredibly painful realization, and it's not, here's the thing, pile number 3. I am getting that there is somebody in your life that you're turning away from now. It is for your healing. Now, I'm not getting that this person's a horrible person or a bad person, and that's what may make it challenging. It's not that they're just a horrible person who wants the worst for you and doesn't care about you. I am not getting that. I'm actually getting that there is someone in your life that is actually decent, that you actually like and you could care about. And that could be a friend, a lover. It could be a friend / lover, or somebody who was a friend / lover, but you had to kind of turn away from the situation because it's like, mentally I'm not there, 10 of Swords, and I don't want to hurt this person. My words and actions are of beauty, compassion, and love. And it's like, Ace of Cups for sure. It's like, I love this person, they're a good person, and I care about them, but it's not the right time for me, 10 of Swords, okay? Or the idea of this person is very lovely, and it could be something very nice and lovely, but it's just not where I am right now, 10 of Swords. And I have to be honest with myself with where I'm at, okay? And, ooh, there's the 8 of Cups again. Now, you guys have walked away, okay? And, we've got the 8 of Cups twice in your reading and the 10 of Swords. Now, maybe you feel like you made a bad decision, or with the 10 of Swords, or maybe you feel like you didn't do the right thing. There was this whole situation, like things could have been so much easier. They could have been so much better. It could have given me everything I ever wanted, but I walked away from it. I let go. Okay. And, this person was offering to take care of me. They were offering to be a security system for me. They were offering me a job. They were offering me money. They were offering me their friendship. They were offering me whatever, and I don't feel like it was a bad offer. I feel like it was legit, and I feel like they actually had things to offer, but it just wasn't the right time for you, pile number 3. And you have to trust your instincts on this one. And maybe you've looked back at it and you've been like, and this could be even a job offer. Like, oh, they offered me more money. They offered me a better position. They offered me this. Like, it's a good offer. It's not the worst thing. It's actually a good thing, but it's not for you right now, is the thing. And that can be a tough realization. And in the moment, it can feel very harsh. And it's just not what you need right now, pile number 3, okay? And you're healing from this. And perhaps there were moments when you regretted, or you're like, damn, I really walked the other way, didn't I? I really I really just, at the time, I didn't know what to do. And this 10 of Swords to me is really speaking about not being able to move forward can overwhelm and create a sense of fear. At least moving forward can create change. 8 of Cups. You can see it's beautiful, actually. Letting go can be very beautiful. If you follow the path of your heart, the heart chakra, Ace of Cups. And, we can trust that we're moving towards a better, brighter day. We may not see that destination yet. We may not have all of the steps at this point, but, it's this feeling of I'm walking away from something good, or that something that could be very stabilizing in my life, but there's a greater destiny for me out there, and I have to follow the call of the wild, or I have to follow the call of my heart, and I can't stay here anymore, or I can't do this anymore, okay? and I have to let go. And yeah, pile number 3, that's a deep insight. And if you were having trouble like with your decision, Eagle Vision is telling you, take a 360-degree view, step back from the situation, search your heart. Because in your heart, there must have been something within you, or there is something within you that says, my destiny isn't here, or my destiny is something else. And like I said, I don't know every step. I don't know every way that I'm going, but I do know that I'm healing. Ace of Cups, okay? And I know that I will heal. And I know that, you know, and maybe when you heal, there would still be a chance for you and this person. Or maybe after some time, there would still be some opportunity here. Ace of Cups, King of Pentacles. But, you know, things have a way sometimes in life of not working out for a reason. And it can be hard when you're the one that decided, no, I'm going to cut this off. 10 of Swords, okay? And yeah, pile number 3, you are coming into balance and harmony with yourself again after these deep realizations that you've had. And the answer of like why you did something and why something happened, maybe it's in this reading, pile number 3. Sometimes it can just be like this feeling that something needs to change and something isn't right. And you don't know why you turned away from something, but on a deeper level, you do actually know. Okay? So pile number 3, that is what I am getting for you, my friends. I hope that this reading resonated for you, my dears, and I would love to hear any thoughts or comments you have. Take care.